Hey guys, welcome back to Drinks with Danny and Joe. I'm Danny.
And I'm Joe.
And on this week's podcast episode, whatever you want to call it.
Episode? I label them episodes.
Do you? Okay. Yeah. On this week's episode, we are having, well, let me kind of rephrase this. So we're thinking of doing this kind of little mini series type thing where we're going to be tasting drinks that are named after places.
For instance, a Manhattan, or what was the one that was like a beer margarita? Oh, was that an Oklahoma
margarita, something like that. It's not going to be every episode or anything. They'll be scattered here and there. But we're starting it. Well, I guess technically we kind of started it with the White Russian.
Well, we didn't do the White Russian for that, though. Like, we didn't talk about Russia.
Okay, so that works.
We may do that one again we could do a Black Russian for that one.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. But, well, for the start of this one, we are actually doing the Long Island iced tea.
Yes, the drink that uses all the drink. And do you want a recipe?
Please, because this is my very first Long Island iced tea. I don't think I've ever had this before.
I have gotten horribly drunk off of Long Island iced teas.
Well, I've heard that's really easy to do.
Because I was unaware of this recipe when I ordered them, and I ordered it at happy hour, so I ordered 2, and they thought I wanted 2 happy hour specials, so they brought me 4.
Oh, I remember you telling me that story.
Yeah, that was at a Hard Rock Cafe in Peru.
Nice.
Okay, Long Island iced tea is made by filling a tall glass with ice, 1/2 ounce vodka, 1/2 ounce gin, 1/2 ounce rum, 1/2 ounce tequila, 1/2 ounce of triple sec, 1 ounce of sour mix. You shake all that, top with Coke.
So, question. You say 1/2. Mm-hmm. You're meaning just half.
Yes.
It's not 1 1/2.
No, not 1 1/2. Just
okay.
1/2.
Okay, okay.
1/2 ounce of each.
But
it's a fair amount of booze.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and try it, and then we'll do the origins of it then.
Okay.
Cheers. Cheers. Or
clink.
Prost.
Salute. That is good.
That is so good.
Yeah. This is why you get hammered off of these, because
you do not taste the alcohol. Like, it's not a harsh alcohol flavor. Yeah, that's really good. I can definitely see how you can get toasted.
Oh, yeah. It's very easy.
Well, because it's technically how many shots? So
1/2 ounce is 1/3 of a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3. That's 1 shot. 1, 2. That's another 2/3 of a shot. So it's almost 2 shots.
Almost 2 shots. Mm-hmm. Which, is a fair amount. Especially mixing.
Well, a standard drink is 1 shot and then a mixer. And the mixers are always lower alcohol.
Yeah.
Like triple sec. It's like somewhere around half of what the vodka is. So it's a lot less. So if you did the calculation by volume, you're getting like 1.5 shots probably.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. So let's do the origin real quick.
Okay.
So this says the Long Island iced tea's origin is disputed, with competing claims from Long Island, New York, and Kingsport, Tennessee.
Yeah, I read that. Oh, I think I actually have some stuff on that. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Okay, I'll keep reading while you do that.
Okay.
So from Long Island, New York, it says Robert Rosebud Butt claims to have invented the drink in 1972 while working at the Oak Beach Inn. Butt's version used triple sec as part of a contest to create a new mixed drink. And then the Kingsport, Tennessee one says Charles Oldman Bishop claims to have invented the drink in the 1920s during Prohibition. Bishop's version used whiskey, maple syrup, and 5 liquors, including rum, gin, tequila, and vodka. Bishop's son, Ransom Bishop, later added cola, lemon, and lime. Oh, and this also says the drink is often served in a highball glass.
Oh, there you go. So we put it in the
See?
right glass.
There you go.
So I saw a thing that said in 2019 they did a taste test with representatives from both states to determine the true origin of the drink, and Tennessee was declared the victor. But New York participants disputed the results, of course.
Well, of course they did. I mean, come on. But I mean, it's probably still going to be, I mean, even if it was...
I could easily see it being from Tennessee, and here's why.
Okay.
Because it's an iced tea, right? A distinctly southern drink.
Quote, unquote, tea.
Because it looks like tea.
It does
That's
look like
why
tea.
it's an iced tea, right? Because it looks like tea.
Yeah.
So I could easily see somebody in Tennessee going, here, try this iced tea. It's from Long Island.
Ha. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that because, yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
I mean, that's how Penny presented it to Sheldon. Here, try this tea. It's from Long Island.
Oh, I was like, who's Penny? And then you said Sheldon, and then I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I have not seen all of Big Bang like you have.
Yeah. But, yeah, he asked for an iced tea, and she goes, how about a Long Island iced tea?
Yeah, I bet he got toe up on that, huh?
If I recall correctly, he ended up singing possibly Hava Nagila at the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, maybe I have seen that episode. Because I want to say I remember that, but
Yeah,
I
it was
haven't
some
seen...
women problems or something, I'm sure.
Yeah, the only the only episodes of The Big Bang that I saw was when you were watching it and I'd happen to be like crocheting or
Yeah, or
reading.
your dad was watching it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like when I lived with him, he'd watch it and I'd hang in the living room with him and then I would play on my phone.
Yeah.
So, but it's good. I like that.
Yeah, that's not bad. So, let's talk a little bit about Long Island,
Okay.
since it's named after Long Island.
But it's from Kingsport, Tennessee.
We can talk about Kingsport, too. That's kind of near where the farm is.
Yep.
Kingsport. It's, what, an hour, 45 minutes, something like that.
Ooh, this says Long Island, New York was formed by glaciers at the end of the last ice age, and its history includes Native American occupation, European colonization, and the development of towns and cities. How cool!
Yeah, if you look at the names of a lot of the towns in Long Island, it's like Massapequa, Montauk. Like there's a few that are named like with Native American sounding names. I don't know if they're all Native American, but a lot of towns in that area have like names from the people that were there before we got there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Long Island was formed around 21,000 years ago when glaciers pushed sand, gravel, and other material together.
Which is crazy because that's like a baby compared to
Everything else.
everything else. Yeah. Like the Appalachian Mountains,
What's the...
depending on where you're from, were formed before the continents split apart.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there's part of the Appalachian Mountains in, what, Ireland? Scotland.
Yeah.
And they figured that out by doing scientist stuff on the mountains, right?
Yeah, I think they did like soil tests and stuff.
Yeah. Isn't that
That's
crazy,
the
though?
same. Yeah.
But they also say, do not go outside at night in the Appalachian Mountains.
Do they?
They do. And they say that if you hear knocking on your door when you're like living out in that area, I mean, we're kind of in that area, but kind of not. But like when you're
We're in the foothills of the Appalachian.
yeah, like if you're in the Appalachian Mountains, like you're closer to them and stuff, they say that if you hear stuff knocking at your door at night, you don't hear it. Don't answer your door. If you hear people scream, you don't hear it. Don't go looking.
I've never heard that.
Oh, I have. Oh, TikTok.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Yes. Yeah, kind
let's
of.
talk about TikTok. That's as good a segue as we're going to get.
I mean, I didn't plan it that way, but that kind of worked.
So, as people know, we record these ahead of time. So, today is January 18th.
Yep.
So in about
2.5 hours?
hour and a half.
Oh, hour and a half. I can't math right now because of the alcohol.
Yeah. About an hour and a half, TikTok will be shut down, supposedly.
Yeah, it's supposed to go black on the 19th. So, well, that's for U.S.
Yeah, in the
U.S. viewers. So, I mean, we've been really slacking on posting on TikTok anyway.
Yeah.
That's my job. And I've really slacked the last few weeks.
I've been slacking on all the social media.
Yeah, we kind of slacked a little.
Well, because usually I have it, like, lined up when I post the episode, I take the...
Have you done a Thirsty Thursday? Did we miss a Thirsty Thursday?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I think I had something set up to do.
But, yeah, so TikTok should be going, well, supposedly going black tomorrow morning, or by midnight, whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, hopefully. I mean, if it goes black, it goes black, I guess.
Yeah, it's just another... I mean, MySpace went the way to the dodos. What's the difference?
Yeah.
The only difference is people actually like this one. It didn't die of attrition.
That's true. Well, and people make money off of TikTok.
Well, people made money off of all those social media apps over the years.
MySpace too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I guess I never really thought of people making money off of MySpace.
Yeah.
So, I do log into my old MySpace from time to time when I want to look at pictures. Because I have pictures on there that I don't have.
Why don't you download them?
I do, but I don't think I have all of them. I don't even know if I could still log into my MySpace.
I don't know. I haven't known my login for that for 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's probably pretty close to that, actually. Maybe 18.
Did you ever do I think it's called Zanga? I could be wrong. I think it's like Xanga, Zanga. I think that's what it's called. But it was kind of like a blog thing. No. So you could like blog about your day and you can have like friends and you could read their like daily blog type things and you could like customize it and all this stuff.
No. I did GeoCities was one you could do. It was like a blog. And then I did Blogger, which Blogger you could build like a website, but it was free. So then, like I had for my old podcast, my website was through Blogger. So you could make basically a regular website with like side menus and drop downs and all that stuff, but it was like just a template that you could build whatever you wanted on top of.
Okay.
So I used that, and then GeoCities, you had to know HTML because you had to code everything.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. But that was for, like, actual computer nerds back in the day.
A lot of computer nerds use...
Linux.
Yes, Linux.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I had it, and then it went away. Linux. I don't know any people who aren't computer nerds that don't use Linux. I don't use Linux. I'm not a computer nerd.
Do you mean you don't know any people that aren't computer nerds that do use Linux?
No, we're just going to confuse me now.
Because you said you don't know people that aren't computer nerds that don't use Linux.
I contradicted myself.
Yeah.
You and my dad
have
both...
too many negatives.
You and my dad both use Linux, and I consider you both computer nerds.
Yeah, we're like hobbyist computer nerds, though.
Yeah, still.
Like, I had a friend in high school that built his own computer, like case and everything.
Yeah, that's also computer nerd. Back to something on Long Island. It says, while the eastern region of Long Island was first settled by the English, the western portion of Long Island was settled by the Dutch.
Yeah, that's the actual New Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm. Until 1664, the jurisdiction of Long Island was split between the Dutch and English, roughly at the present border between Nassau County and Suffolk County.
Nassau.
Nassau. What did I say?
Nassau.
Nassau.
I think. But it's Nassau County.
Nassau.
Yeah. So if you look at like a map of Long Island, there's the Long Island Sound, which is between Long Island and Connecticut.
Continue.
So the sound side of Long Island is like the, I think, cheaper side real estate wise, because nobody wants to live on the inland side. They want to live on the ocean side.
I'd be okay to live on the inland side.
Well, yeah, but like rich people want the ocean for a yard. The part of Long Island where the rich people live are like Montauk, East Hampton, Bridgehampton, like that outer peninsula part, like all the way as far out on Long Island as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the
Shinnecock.
I don't know where that is.
It's on my map. It just says Shinnecock. Shinnecock.
But yeah, there's like the, you can kind of see on the western part, there's a lot of barrier islands.
Wait, so real quick, on Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Long Island, New York. Yes.
Yes.
But then is part of that island, whatever that is that part of a different state?
Nope, that's all New York.
All of it, the whole thing is New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So...
yeah, Connecticut is only on the mainland.
Okay.
And then, so New York extends out below Connecticut.
So that whole thing. What is that called?
Peninsula.
Yeah. That whole peninsula.
And it's actually an island. Like, it's not actually a peninsula because the Long Island Sound connects to the Hudson River. So the Hudson River runs essentially on the northwest side of New York City. And then the East River runs from the Long Island Sound to the Hudson River and then pours out into the Atlantic.
Okay.
So that's what separates, like, Manhattan from Long Island. And then, up close to the city, there's, Brooklyn is on that part of the island, on, like, the lower part of Long Island. And then Williamsburg, all that kind of stuff. That's on the island that is Long Island.
Mm.
Kennedy Airport is also
on Long Island?
Yeah.
Oh, the Shinnecock is indigenous people and tribe groups.
Yeah.
Then there's the Unkachog and the Montaukett.
Which are probably what Montauk is named after.
Mm-hmm. The Gotham Center for New York City History is what I'm on currently, and I'm just kind of perusing it a little bit. So it says, local residents know the Montaukett as one of the 13 tribes of Indians that occupied Long Island at the time Europeans arrived. This myth, though taught in schools and repeated in local histories, presents Native American socio-political formation incorrectly and masks the realities of culture and economic continuity that is highlighted in the archaeological record. Recent historians and archaeologists recognize this myth of the 13 tribes as problematic because it is not history that was recorded or retold by indigenous historians, but was instead developed by the 19th century white historians more than 200 years after Europeans arrived on the shores of Long Island. And yet, archaeologists and historians alike continue to perpetrate this fiction of the 13 tribes in their writings and exhibits.
So are they saying there wasn't 13 tribes, or that they just are wrong?
I think they're saying that they think there were 13 tribes, but they said that the myth is problematic because it's not history that was recorded by indigenous people, but by white historians more than 200 years ago.
Okay, but indigenous people didn't write things down, so...
yeah.
I mean...
that's just what it says. I don't know.
That seems convoluted and probably causes more problems than it helps.
Oh, guys, kind of quick little segue. I just thought about it. If you think of like a state drink or a city drink or something that you do want us to try, please let us know. We have a few of the main ones already on list.
Mm-hmm.
But
if it's a local drink to your area, give us a recipe too, because a lot of them are hard to find and we want to get it the way you know it.
Yes, that would be fun. And then we can discuss it. So just leave that comment in there.
So I don't think you've seen, we talked about it the other day. It's a movie. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I don't think you've seen that.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
But a lot of that takes place on Long Island.
Oh.
It's in Montauk.
That's with Jim Carrey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, Elijah Wood, and Kirsten Dunst. Kate Winslet is the other person in that movie.
Nice.
But yeah, that's a movie you need to see because it's one of the very strange Jim Carrey movies.
He has a few strange ones. I do enjoy his humor sometimes.
This one is not funny at all.
No, I know. But just him as a character, like he's one of those, I read about him once where it said something like, he says that everything is a character for him. Mm-hmm. That even Jim Carrey is a character.
Yeah.
So it's like, who is he?
Well, it's a real Buddhist kind of way of looking at things because...
Is he Buddhist?
I don't think he's declared a specific religion, but like in Buddhism and a lot of the meditation type spirituality stuff, there's this thing where if you think about yourself, who's that person? Like, who's the person that's thinking about you? You know what I mean?
No.
Like, your hand, like you can feel your hand, but your hand is not you. If you lost your hand, you would still be you, right?
Just without a hand.
But you would still be you.
Yes.
And if you lost all of your body except your head and somehow could still survive, you would still be you, but without a body. So, like, his way of looking at it is you're a thing that is experiencing the world through this basically meat puppet that you control.
Okay. So, like, your body is not really you.
Yeah, your body's not you. It's just the vessel you're in. And you're not really in it because you can think about your body from outside your body. Right, so, like, it's kind of like...
That was a brain explosion, guys.
It's the way I like to look at it is that you are a version of the universe that the universe made so it could experience itself in a different way.
I don't even know what to say.
But, I mean...
Because it, like, makes sense, but it's also like, the hell?
Yeah.
It's also like, so I like planets. I like our planets. I like the solar system and stuff. And it's just something that just makes your mind explode at the thought of us being one little tiny speck in this massive galaxy in outer space. Because we're on our own little solar system in the Milky Way galaxy, which there's also, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of other galaxies in, or universes, no. Galaxies in, planetary systems in the Milky Way.
Oh, yeah. Solar system. But it's not solar systems because solar system is the system around the star that is our sun, which is Sol.
Oh, but yes, there's a shit ton of other planets in our galaxy.
Yeah, so like the planets that would orbit around Alpha Centauri would be in an Alpha Centauri system.
What's Alpha Centauri?
It's another star.
Oh, I don't know if I've heard of that one.
I'm going to talk out my ass, but I think it's the closest star to us that's not the sun.
Okay. But it's just crazy to think that we're just this tiny little thing.
Mm-hmm. And the universe is expanding at such a rapid rate that even at the speed of light, we couldn't get to some places in it.
Yeah. Because
it's expanding faster than the speed of light.
Yeah. And a lot of the stars that we see, their light, they're already black. They're done.
They could be.
But it takes them that many light years for them to come to us.
Yeah.
And then they stay there because that's how much they were. But there's a good chance that they've already been black for 100,000 years, but yet we still see it.
Mm-hmm.
which just blows your mind.
Mm-hmm.
It does mine.
Yeah. Well, you can think about like all that stuff forever, and it's kind of trippy. But then also there's technology that exists currently that gets us up to a speed of like, it's something like a third of the speed of light, which is really freaking fast.
Well, yeah.
Which is fast enough that we could get to the next nearest star in like 40 years, which is crazy because that means somebody could get on a ship going that speed and make it to another solar system in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Which is never even been reasonable.
Well, and the thing is, too, is you got to be kind of young to do that, too. I mean, you can't be like 50 years old and doing it.
No.
Because you'd get there at 90.
Yeah.
I just looked up speed of light in miles per hour.
That's pretty fast.
It says, formula for an appropriate result, multiply the speed value by 6.706 E plus 8.
Yeah, so...
I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Plus 8 would be 100 million.
The speed of light in vacuum, commonly denoted C, is a universal physical constant that is exactly equal to 299,792,458 meters per second, approximately 300,000 kilometers per second, which is 186,000 miles per second, which is 671 miles per hour. 671 million. I didn't say the million.
Okay.
600.
Like, no, that's way less.
Well, when you're like, I'm like, wait, what did I miss? But that says it's 671 million miles per hour.
Yes.
That's light. That's the speed of light. 671 million miles per hour.
So if you could go a third of that speed, that'd be like 200 million miles an hour or something like that.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Well, I feel like going 80 miles an hour is fast.
Yeah, but you're in an atmosphere.
Yes.
In a vacuum, it wouldn't seem fast.
That's true because you're just kind of going. But still, like, that's still just, like, there could be some other Danny on another planet doing the exact same fucking thing I'm doing right now.
I mean, you don't really need to go to another planet for that, though. You could just go to a different dimension on this planet.
Different dimension? You think there's different dimensions, too?
Yeah. I mean, theoretically, every single decision every person makes everywhere, and every animal makes everywhere, and every slight difference in things that happens makes a split in dimensions.
Kind of like Loki with the whole PBR people? TBR?
TBA.
TBA?
Yeah. Like, every decision makes two different paths. You could do this or you could do this. You could do this or you could do this.
Oh, yeah, and every decision you make, it, like...
So, assuming that you make both decisions in some reality, one would go one way, one would go the other, and then that decision would change everything else.
Well, it would be like the decision of you asking me out on a date. What if you never asked me out on a date? We wouldn't be here.
Right. But then also, like, if we didn't make this drink right now, then that would be two different realities.
Yeah.
Because one, we'd be watching TV over there, and this one, we're doing this.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But then each of the decisions between there and here, like how you step, how you makes a split.
Yeah.
So there's an infinite amount of different possibilities of what could happen.
How crazy is that? It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Did you know that in the 7th grade, my science teacher gave us the option of joining the science fair or writing a paper?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I picked?
Paper.
Really?
That's what I would have picked.
I did not pick the paper. I'm not good at writing papers. I hate writing papers.
I could bullshit my way through a paper any day.
I can too, but I don't like doing it.
I'd rather do that than present something.
So I chose the science fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the solar system. And my mom and we went to Walmart and we got like styrofoam balls
Mm-hmm.
and we painted planets. And my dad helped me make a stand. And he tried to help me, like, we got the sun and then we tried to get wire to go, but the wire was too thin.
Mm-hmm.
So it only held up a couple planets and then it just kept drooping too much. So then he made these little like pieces of wood with a nail stuck through it. We painted it black and we just jammed on the styrofoam ball and just kind of positioned it around. So a couple were on it, a couple on the wire, a couple on just little stands.
Mm-hmm.
But she helped me paint the solar system. And like I painted my plastic board black and I put like white dots all over it, made it look like thing. And I was basically saying how I believed in aliens and how, you know, that somewhere there's another me doing the same thing and you never know, all this stuff. I got first place.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you what, I was not the only one who did the solar system. I was the only one who did styrofoam planets.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm like, how in the hell do you not think of that?
What did they use?
They either painted them on their little thing, but I was the only one who did styrofoam, like modular thing. Modular? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how was that?
I mean, you did grow up in Oklahoma, so there's that.
You make that sound like an insult.
Mm. If it doesn't have to do with 4-H, there's a lot of people that don't give a shit about it in Oklahoma.
That's true. But I did get first place. I think I still have my little first place trophy ribbon thing in my little keepsake box up in our closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll have to show it to you.
I never won any science fairs because I've never participated in a science fair because I would rather shoot myself in the foot than do that.
Well, I remember when I won first place, I was sitting with my friend and my parents were there too. And like, I wasn't even paying attention to them announcing it because it was in the gym. And I was just like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. That's all I could think. And then all of a sudden I hear them go, oh my gosh, Daniela. Because, you know, Daniela, I was Daniela at the time. They're like, you won. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't even hear my name, nothing. It was just my family and my friend told me that I won. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? So I went up and I got my little first place trophy with the blue ribbon. That was one of my shining moments in school, was winning first place in the science fair in 7th grade.
So I feel like we did an entire episode on Long Island and did not talk about Long Island.
We talked a little bit about Long Island. We did a little bit. Yeah. So this was our first episode that we did decide, like we didn't super pre-plan what we talk about. So for the most part, we do try to pre-plan what we're going to talk about. So that way we at least have topics as to where we want the conversation to go or how we want it. But today, Joe was like, well, let's just kind of wing it. And we'll see where it goes. Yeah, do a
little more freeform because it was getting kind of robotic.
Yeah, make it a little bit more organic.
Yeah. And I think it worked out.
I think so. I mean, we found something to talk about the whole time. And we did get off of Long Island, but, I mean.
Yeah, way off, like a billion light years
like outer
off.
space.
But yeah. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to be it for this week. Go on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Not TikTok. Spotify, Podcast Addict, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Did I get them all this time?
I think so.
But yes, go give us a like, a share, leave us a comment. Let us know if there's any sort of drinks that you do want us to try. We will get to those as soon as we can. If you have any town drinks, city drinks, state drinks, like...
Don't be making crap up. If you have an actual drink from where you're from,
Yes.
We'll
Let
do
us know.
it.
We do have the basic ones. Like we already have Manhattan online. We already have Moscow Mule. So we do have already like...
Yeah, we have some, so it's not imperative that we get suggestions right away, but we would like to hear them because I think it would make it more interesting.
Yes. Especially if it's from where you are.
Yeah.
And like Joe said earlier, give us a recipe.
And if you have any interesting history.
Yes, that would be cool.
Send
Little
that
tidbits. We can also talk about that.
And if you are in our area and have a drink that you'd like us to do, you can be a guest on the show.
Yes.
Maybe. If you want to be. You don't have to be.
You don't have to be. If you want to be, let us know. And we'll see what we can work out. But we do, with suggestions, we do want to try and see if maybe we can get people on that suggest it.
Yeah.
If we're able to.
Yeah.
Because that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
All right. We need to wind it down.
All right. Anyway, so that's going to do it for us. Do all the things.
Yes, all the things.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. That one was a good one.